All right, and we're back, guys. Me and the fake plants missed you. That's right. You thought that was real? Nah. You think I can keep that alive? I actually do have a real one of those downstairs. Yeah, there's levels to this place. I only have 2 levels. I wish I had 3. Actually, 3 is kind of annoying, right? If you go into a house and upstairs is kind of all you want to do. And then sometimes you'll see there's like another one. You go, this is a bit much. Like a 3-story house? What are we doing? Now it's an office building. You should have an elevator. If you have 3 levels, now we're in elevator territory. Or I'll hear that it's a 3-story house, and I go, I'm not going. I don't even want to take the chance that I have to go on that 3rd level. And then, even if there's no reason for me to go to the 3rd level, you have to check it out. You're not going to go to a 3-story house and not check out the 3rd story. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to die and just be like, I wonder what was on that level. You ever go to somebody's house and then just like one bathroom's off limits, and you go, I want to shit in that bathroom in the worst way. Like, I don't even have to shit, but I want to force myself to. Just because it's that much more forbidden. Like, I'm not supposed to use it, number 1. And then number 2, I know the wordplay is working out perfectly, but I didn't mean for it to be that way, number 2. But number 2, it's extra forbidden. And, so I'm not supposed to use it, number 1, right? And then number 2, it's not just a pee, it's a poo. So that's sort of like a double whammy. That's 2 levels of disrespect, maybe on the 3rd level. What if it's 2 levels of disrespect on 3 levels? You get it? Because it's a 3rd story. I'm just workshopping. That's a callback. I'm doing a lot of things here. That's how comedy works. You don't really know where you're going, and then you enter a room you're not supposed to, but there's a lot of comedy in there. So there you go. That's my crash course. This is my master class. What if you paid for a master class in comedy? Like, this plays after the Aaron Sorkin one, and then it's just me rambling like this, and you're like, what the fuck? I paid $300 for this? He didn't even introduce himself and give a preamble. What's the difference between a preamble and a preface? Is preface for reading and preamble is spoken? I don't Google or ChatGPT anymore. It's kind of odd. ChatGPT just came out, and I find myself using it like 10 times a day. To go from, and I can't remember my life without it. Just to go from not even knowing it existed or have that capability to me asking ChatGPT so many things every day. ChatGPT is a little better than Gemini. Not that anyone is asking, but I've asked both questions. ChatGPT is pretty thorough. Gemini just sort of seems like Google trying to play catch up. Like, we have AI. We can do AI too. Look at this. But it's just like an Indian dude Googling. What if it turns out Gemini was just like 100 Indian dudes Googling and giving you answers? I think it was a news story. There was some like AI company that just ended up being like 100 Indian dudes Googling stuff. Last night I was at the Comedy Store. I had 2 sets. I did the belly room, and then I went downstairs, had some time to kill until, what was it? I had a set in the original room. So first set was like at 8:30 or that always sucks as a stand-up. This is very inside baseball, but like when you have 2 sets as a comedian, you kind of want them to be closer together because then it's nice. You do one, then you do the other, maybe 30 minutes later, and you're done for the night. It kind of sucks when you don't plan your day very well, or you have spots. You have one at 7:30, and then your next spot's like at 11:30. Then you're like a ghost. You're just chilling in West Hollywood for 3 hours until your next set. Not even 3, 4 hours. So that's the kiss of death when your spots are that far apart. So ideally, you want to kind of match them up, have them be a little closer together. Sometimes they're really close together, and you're going to all the clubs. So you're at the Laugh Factory. Then you got to hop in the car right afterwards, and you go to the Improv. And then you're like, thank you, good night. And then you get in your car, and you rush to the Comedy Store. And then you hit a few people on the way because you need to get to the club fast, and you couldn't see them because it was dark. And so you hit them. And then they're on the ground screaming, but you're like, I have a spot. I'm a comedian. And they're like, oh, never mind. and the ambulance comes and takes care of them, but it's not your problem anymore. So yeah, I was at the Comedy Store. I was just kind of like working on some new stuff. I guess I always am. I do my Fahim Works on stuff every month. Even on regular shows, I'm working on new things. I love working. I just love when a joke works for the first time. That's why I do stand-up comedy, just to chase that. When it goes from an idea in your head to something tangibly working, that's what comedy is all about to me. That's the rush. That's what I'm chasing. Doing well with jokes that already work, it's neat, but it doesn't give me the same excitement as going from nothing to something. That's the best. So I'm always trying to do that, and it's kind of nice. I'm in that phase now because I was on tour for this past year, and now I'm pretty much done. I'm sort of in purgatory. I have the hour. I shot like a little, like kind of a version of it in the main room at the Comedy Store, and I have it just to have. So that's just on a hard drive somewhere. But then Ali Wong is helping me maybe get the hour on a streamer. So Hulu, Netflix, or HBO or something. So she'll produce it, and it might say Ali Wong Presents. It's so funny. When I was a young comic, I always hated when I saw that. Like if it said Amy Schumer Presents Mark Norman or Bill Burr Presents, because you're like, oh, I should be good enough on my own. I don't want to have to do that. But as you get older and you just realize the business of it all, I would fight tooth and nail. I want it to say Ali Wong Presents. Ali Wong Presents Fahim Anwar. People have these biases. They don't even know they're doing it. If you see a name like Fahim Anwar for a comedy special, you think I'm going to be up there talking about being a brown guy for 60 minutes or whatever. Not saying that that's bad or wrong or whatever, but branding-wise, it's just like the most unfortunate thing that my name is Fahim Anwar and I happen to do observational material. Back to my point. That's why having Ali Wong Presents Fahim Anwar, I think, would be so beneficial because people know. It's like Coca-Cola. It's a brand you know, you trust, you love it. Ali Wong Presents Fahim Anwar. I think I would get more of a look if it said Ali Wong Presents instead of just Fahim Anwar on its own. You're like, what is this? So that could be good. I don't know where it'll end up. I think agents and stuff are involved and it's kicking around and we'll see. So I'm having to keep this hour just in purgatory on the back burner. And then once I find out what's going on, then I'll maybe get a few more dates on the books just to get it tight and back in my head for a bit before I shoot it. Or maybe there's a world where what I already shot at the Comedy Store is actually good enough, because I do like that too. I shot that and it came out great, and it was an awesome show. Oh yeah, so that show with Theo, that was at the Comedy Store the other night. I opened up for him, did like 15, and then I brought Bobby up. And then Bobby brought Theo up. It's a good show. That's a good show for the peeps, for the peoples. Some people were like, oh, are you going to open up for Theo for more for the rest of the tour? I did 4 cities with him. It was fun. I just wanted to experience what it's like to do that. I don't feel, I think at this point in my career, there's no point in just like opening for someone for that long. Because, I don't know. It's like you're doing a job. Because they're big they're like arenas and stuff, and you're trying to set them up for Theo. So you're doing a job. You're trying to like bring the hits, and then you're getting them warmed up for the guy they're going to go see. So you can't really work on anything. You can't do any new stuff, and you're just playing the hits. So you're not working, you're not growing, you're not really working on anything, and then it's kind of like golden handcuffs if you're not careful, because all you got to do is 15. Just do the same 15. You're touring around. The money's pretty good. It's pretty decent. So you got to know when to get off, or use it and then get off the ship, get off the ride. And then you also got to be aware of like opportunities that are not I think opening for a giant comedian is great if you're a young comic or if you're an older comic, just kind of doing a victory lap. It's good money, low lift. But if you're kind of in the middle, still trying to break through and stuff, it's less relevant. Maybe you could do it for a little bit and then jump off, but it doesn't make as much sense as like a young comic or an older comic. And yeah, I'm pretty good at realizing opportunities that are not opportunities sometimes. Like Jeff Ross a while ago. This was like the roast of Tom Brady. I think they're playing the Kia Forum. He's like, hey man, do you wanna open up for that? Do you want to come out and do stand up? You do like 15 before the show starts, and like Kevin Hart comes out. And on its surface, like if you're a younger comic and you don't know any better, you go, yeah, that's amazing. I'll play the Kia Forum. There'll be really important people there and stuff. Maybe some Netflix execs, and yeah, I'll get discovered or something. But opening, you realize opening isn't really this opportunity that you think it is. It's a job. It's like you are a flight attendant. You are getting them used to what they will be seeing later. And just for that scenario, opening up for the roast, here's why it's not a real opportunity, and it's a zero win situation. There's no upside to me doing that. People are being seated. Okay, so I would be going up cold. I'm the first thing. That's always hard as a comedian, just going up cold. So people are still being seated. There's probably celebrities. There's probably like Netflix people and shit. So it's stacked against you. It's already an uphill battle. You're trying to do stand up. You're not going to do good. You'll do like okay at best. And then you'll bring up whoever. Then the show gets started. So you just have all these really important people and executives and shit seeing you kind of eat shit or do mediocre. Even if you smash, it's anecdotal. People are like, oh, okay. It doesn't matter. Even best case scenario, it's a nothing burger. It's lateral. It's completely lateral. You have nowhere to go but down by accepting this gig. So I'm like, I'm okay. Thank you, though. Thank you for thinking of me. But I'm all right on that. So that's just being around the game long enough, and you do enough shows. Like it's just statistics. There's no way to excel in that environment. Another one too, like there's sometimes there's shows at these like Soho houses. Do you guys know what Soho House is? They're sort of celebrities go there and like rich people. It's these social clubs. They're like, oh, we're doing a comedy night at Soho House. And then when you're young, you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, important people might be there. Soho House is really hard to get into. But those shows generally always suck because they're like Hollywood people, and they're like actory and agenty, and they're not there to get lost. They're there to kind of be seen. They're there to try to fuck. So they're not there for the art really. And then they're in deep couches too. You're just doing stand up and they're in like a white Miami sofa and they have wine. So it's an away game, right? It's much better when those people come to the comedy club. Like, go to the place where it's happening. But they just have wine and they're trying to fuck this blonde. And they're like, so you're doing modeling and acting. So you're a multi-hyphenate. Interesting. And just they're getting deeper and deeper in the couch while not laughing. So I know those shows suck too. People hit me up. Hey, you want to do this like Soho House type? I'm like, I'm good. Tell them to come to the Comedy Store. They're like, dude, it pays $10 and you get a burger. I'm okay. I'll pay for my burgers, and I have $10. Yeah, I love working on new stuff. That's probably why I have my Fahim Works on Stuff show. I do that show once a month. I film it, and then so the way it works, I just try a bunch of new material. I have my piece of paper, and then I do jokes up top, and then I bring up other comics, and they come up and they do 10 minutes. 10 or 15 minutes, then I go up after them and I try more new material, then I bring up somebody else, and then so I just try new material in between all the acts. And I'm holding a piece of paper because it's so many jokes. When you total up the amount of time, it's like 40 minutes every month. It's like 40 or 45 minutes of new material that I've never done. I've just been jotting it throughout the month, just ideas that I have. So I have to read it off the paper because it's just so dense. It's so many ideas. I can't retain a new 45 in my brain every month. When I do my hour on the road, I can, because that's more repetitive. It's more rote. You're getting it more refined. It's this one thing that coalesces. But 45 minutes of just new ideas that come to you and stuff that come and go and all, I need to write it down. So that's why I have that piece of paper. And then I film it. And the thing is with algorithms, you have to keep on feeding the algorithm and give it content. And I don't do crowd work, or I don't want to. I don't want to be like, oh, you two fucking? How long did you fuck her? Does he fuck you? You ever do strap it on and do his butthole? Yeah. Like, I don't want to do that. But this is another way of having content is I have this Fahim Works on Stuff show. And sometimes I just have so many ideas. I can't water all these plants. I can't get all of these jokes up to a level. It's just too hard. The volume is too much. So some of them are non sequiturs and they have no place in my regular act, but they're still kind of funny. And maybe in that crowd, it'll get like 80%. It'll get to 80% or 85% of what it is. And then I'll never do it again. And I'm like, that's good enough. It captured whatever the essence of that joke is. And then I'll chop it up and I'll throw it up on reels. I'll put it on everything. And some of them take off. Like I have this one about masks that's almost like at $500,000. I have some Fahim Works on Stuff clips that will pop off. So as a comedian, just analytically and statistically, it behooves me to throw up some of these clips that I wasn't going to keep on doing anyway because I have my hour that I have to like tighten up and stuff. So I'm like, it cost me nothing. I'm going to throw it up. It got 85% of what it's supposed to get. And sometimes they go viral. But this always happens. There's always some idiot. Like there's some girl on the mask one. She's like, reading from a piece of paper, you can't. Or some other people like, I've been seeing a few of these. You still can't memorize your jokes. I'm doing it. Luckily, I'm big enough now at a certain point where people are fighting for me. I don't have to go to battle in the comment section. Enough people are like, hey, comedians work on stuff, and this is that type of show. But without fail, there's always someone who's like, reading your jokes from a piece of paper? And in my mind, I'm like, hey, it's fucking going viral. It's 45 minutes of new material every month. I can't. And then also, this isn't my real hour. But this is all too nuanced to boil into a comment section. And it's just like, all right, whatever. It's just noise. Be an idiot. But that's just something that annoying that fucking happens every time one of those Works on Stuff clips pops off. You guys gotta read it from a piece of paper? You can't memorize your jokes? It's a lot of jokes. You know what's another one too that's kind of funny? Is like you'll get a comment. Because again, it's statistics. If a clip is doing 1 million views, you're not gonna get 100% unanimous. Like fucking love it. This is great. You do get a lot of that, but then there's always like some guys like, not funny. Didn't laugh once. Like okay, all right, but also like, who are you? Who gives a shit? Like this guy drives a forklift. I'm not saying forklift laughs aren't important. Forklift lives matter, but just like some guy, whoever that guy is, just not funny. Like, who are you? If you were like the president, maybe okay. If you were a Nobel Peace Prize winner, science even, whatever. Is the Peace Prize for science too? Yeah, I think so. All right. Whatever. I'm just saying someone of importance and you wrote not funny, you'd still be kind of a shithead, but it'd be like, fuck, he won some award. But just some guy in a cubicle, not funny. And I know, because I save a lot of reels on IG. I send them to my boys. I'm the arbiter of what's funny. I've been doing stand-up a long time, and I love it. I'm just so lucky that I really do love the art of stand-up comedy, even just being able to get on stage, throw out these ideas, refine them, work on an act. I just love stand-up comedy. A lot of people are using stand-up comedy to springboard or to get into something else. They don't actually love the grind and the nitty-gritty of it. But I'm happy doing that. So I'm so grateful at the end of the day that I'm already there. I get to do what I love. So that's fantastic. But this larger thought experiment that I've had is like, is being really good at stand-up, does it matter anymore? I just feel like it doesn't matter as much as it once did. Like skill in the craft of stand-up is almost anecdotal. It's immaterial. It's not necessary. It's not a prerequisite to like break through. there's so much noise, there's so much content, there's so much media that everyone is trying to figure out their thing to stand out. Because if you're another guy talking, like what I'm doing right now, or anybody else, it's just so easy to get swept, just lost in the ocean. Everyone's got to think of a hook or an angle or something to just stop the thumb. I think I was talking to Neil Brennan. We're at the Comedy Store, and I'll credit him with this. He was saying stand-up comedy is in its wrestling era right now. You have to have like sunglasses. You have to have a bucket hat. You have to have the same clothes. You just have to have this look. But maybe that's just branding. Maybe that's just like a part of art. Like no matter how good the art is, if it just looks like a guy who sits in a cubicle, no one will be able to receive it. Like maybe humans need that escapism. Like, whoa, that guy looks fucking weird. And his stuff is good. Like I had this idea for a sketch where, because I'll watch these shows like Project Runway or Glow Up, all these shows where it's like kind of like gay and LGBT heavy and like Project Runway. The front runners are always like a little flamboyant and stuff, kind of like Jonathan Van Ness vibes, right? And I think that just lends to the artistry of it. Like if they dress weird and they're like, yeah, so I did a little scoop out here on the neck, and like that guy's going to go very far in the competition. But what if there was a Project Runway where just a super normal guy, his name is like Gil, and he's 35 years old. He wears New Balance shoes, but his fashion is amazing, but he just has a mustache and looks totally normal. He just looks like some Midwestern dad. And he's competing against like the most flamboyant San Francisco gays and Washington, D.C. gays, just like the most flamboyant. Like they look the part. They look super fashionable, right? And they create these pieces. But Gil is just a normal dude. And he's like, yeah, so, you know, this belt right here goes through there. And then it kind of loops into that. He's just so fucking normal. But his designs, you can't. And they want to vote him off because he's just so normal. He doesn't fit whatever the vibe is. But they can't deny how good his fashion, his pieces are. And so then they're having to vote like gay people off, which almost feels like a hate crime on these shows. But they're like, Gil's designs are just too good. He's like, oh, I'm getting voted through to the next round. Oh, that's cool. It's, you know, in Nebraska where I grew up, just people didn't really respond to my fashion like this. They thought it was too out there. They thought I was too flamboyant. They called me gay, even though I wear regular clothes, but I like fitting people who are more fashion forward. And he ends up winning. Balloons fall down. So begrudgingly, the entire production has to like award him the top prize. He's like, "Oh, thank you guys. I didn't think I'd win." All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground, guys. I think we did it. Until next time. Peace.